You ready?
Yeah.
My name is Sarah Byrd. I'm 34 years old and I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I was born in Tennessee, but I grew up here. I am in luxury retail management. I've been working for the company that I work for the past 9 years almost. I was working there when I was diagnosed originally with lymphoma 5 years ago. I had a tumor in my right eye in the conjunctiva tissue, which we thought was a sty. So I went to several different doctors that told me it was a sty. And finally I went to Dr. Durrell here in Atlanta, who is an ophthalmologist. And he said, well, let's just take it out. It doesn't look like anything. He said it didn't look angry. I had never had surgery before. I'd never been sick. I think I was 28, 29 maybe. And I wasn't worried. We went in, had surgery, took it out. He said it looked great. So he also said that the pathology would be back that afternoon around 3, which is really quick. I thought it would probably be like a week or so. And I got a phone call from his office, and it was him, and he sounded like kind of distressed and in a bit of panic, and said that, he said, I'm really sorry, Sarah. In 25 years, I've only diagnosed this one other time. He said, you have cancer, you have lymphoma. I just remember saying, so you're saying that I have cancer. So I tell people that I have cancer is what you're saying. And I was sad because I know I was going to lose my hair, which I was thinking about today and saying how vain and stupid that is. It's nice to have hair, but if you're dead with long hair, it really doesn't matter. I went through, I think, 5 rounds of R-CHOP chemotherapy. And then I had my radiation. Radiation was pretty much a breeze. I did lose my hair. I did not lose my eyelashes. I did not lose my eyebrows. I ended everything at the end of October, and by December, I felt a lump in the left part of my chest. I went in and saw the breast specialist. Well, the doctor was out, so I saw the physician's assistant. She assured me that it was just a cyst. There was no, I think she said there was no blood flow to it. I go in like a week later or whatever, and she's still trying at that point to convince me that it's nothing. And she does another ultrasound. She said, okay, let me go take this to Dr. Barber. She comes back in and she's like flustered, and she says, I'm sorry, Sarah. I was like, what did he say? And she was like, well, he just looked at the ultrasound and he knew that it was lymphoma of the breast tissue. And I'm like, right, like that's what I thought. The new plan was to do, I believe, 5 more treatments, but instead of R-CHOP this time, it's going to be rice chemo. So that's very, very aggressive. So I was going to have to be hospitalized for 4 to 5 days with each treatment. He then teamed up with Dr. Flowers at Emory, and together they decided that the best thing for me to achieve a long-term remission would be to do a stem cell transplant. They try to get your body into remission as much as they can before they do a stem cell transplant, because it gives you a better chance of long-term survival. I was sick, I was throwing up, I was doing all of this. They couldn't get me under control. I begged my nurse, Stacy, to please put me into a coma until it was over. I had fights with the attending doctor. He was this man who had literally no bedside manner whatsoever. And at Emory, it's a teaching hospital, so he would bring like slews of students in and take my puke bowl away from me while I'm puking in it actively. And I just finally was like, you know what? I'm checking myself out tomorrow. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. If I'm going to die, I'm going to go do it at home with my dog and my family. You're supposed to walk like a mile every day in there. Huh. And I remember that doctor used to come in and be like, have you walked a mile today? I was like, have you found something that would make me stop vomiting yet? Have you? I've been in remission. This August was 4 years remission for me. I don't want to die with my story just resonating within myself or my family. Like, I want to show people, hey, this is what I looked like. This is where I was, 100 pounds. Like, I could lose 10 now, but, you know, I'm healthy looking. You would never, ever look at me and say, oh, she had cancer. You wouldn't do it. I'm here and I'm kicking it. I'm still living, and I want other people to know that you can too. There's a dark place that you might get to. There may be. You may want to die. I did. But if you can just get out of that, you know, like, even though Most of the people who I've talked to who've had stem cell transplants didn't really have to deal with the nausea and the vomiting like I did, which is amazing. I'm glad they didn't. I would rather have the worst case scenario and be able to say, this is the worst, but yours isn't going to be anything like that. Because it gives you hope. And sometimes all you really need is somebody to say, you're going to be okay. You're not going to die. You're going to be okay. You're not going to die from this. You're not going to die right now. And I'm lucky because I've had a lot of doctors who probably shouldn't tell me that, who have told me that. And even if it's not true, it's sometimes all you need to hear. You think we're done now?
You remember Sarah? You might not. She was bald and pukey and a little bit of a bitch.